I had to squeeze all this learning and making all these videos into my normal life. And it was starting to, let's say, creep into that, into some of my relationships and some of my time obligations. I was just kind of buried into trying to make these videos and just making sure that I could, do my 2 per week. So it was really hard at first. Let's bring up something in this video that I think is really important and to show all the hard work, and I think it had paid off because this was something that I had spent easily 40 hours on alone. It was very time consuming and learning a lot about editing and bringing things in and using all the, let's say, techniques I had been learning in Adobe. Intro, I was super happy about that. I was like, okay, I have a way to bring my video, lead into my video, because that's what's common, I think, in a lot of TV shows and popular channels, is to have some sort of theme or some sort of association with your branding or your name, right? So super happy about that. Now I know food challenges aren't really for everyone, and there's just a very small audience, let's say, out there. And really my biggest support in the beginning, and kind of still is my family and friends.
Drives you to keep on eating, keep doing this crazy stuff?
I think that's a great question. And it was the base I had. So I was really trying to see, how to outreach and, touch a bigger audience. And this is an interesting video because it kind of showed my way to do it creatively. So not only am I doing a food challenge, but I'm also having another storyline on the side. Because just like at the gym, when you push yourself, or at a new career, or maybe it's some new hobby and something's hard at first, there is this learning curve that we kind of find almost a little bit addicting, but it's through the reward system, right? As we get better at it. And that's something I hadn't really seen in food challenges. They're really focused, especially the professionals, is their ability to eat. And I didn't have that. So I'm like, okay, what else can I do with this? And so ultimately, I've kind of always had the passion to be in education and nutrition and fitness. Suffering is something that unfortunately is just part of the process. There's been different forms of suffering that I've gone through in this. So if this was easy, it wouldn't be called a challenge. So therefore, that's kind of what gets me motivated to do it. My channel was kind of dedicated to fun with food and fitness, and that was in the intro, and we'll talk about that in the future because that's when it's kind of bridged in. So you can already see, I'm using the side to just kind of express something else for people that don't really so much care about how much food I'm eating. It's just some other form of entertainment and attention. So, and that's kind of really the whole point, is I was just trying to be creative and learn different ways, that I can keep these videos somewhat engaging, because in the end, I was a person that followed food challenges a long time, but not many people, I guess, like that. And I found through comments that some people think it's boring, think it's weird, think it's odd, think it's strange. And I don't care, because we all have our different hobbies that make us unique. And yeah, I'm a little different, but we all are in some sense or fashion. So that's kind of really what I was happy about with this, is now I'm kind of deviating away from just challenges and just food, because I know that's not going to be my specialty and what I'm good at. But hey, you know what? I gave it my best, but I'm still going to stay on course, because there's some, let's say, goals in this. And reason, the reason I wanted to do it was to get better and use this as a way to lead into all of my different series that I've made. We kind of push ourselves to that next level. So if you haven't caught on by now, really I got to make kind of a 2-for-1 out of the Costco footage, just because I talked so long in that one, and after watching the hot dog video, there was a lot of similarities, say, in my style. And so it started getting me thinking about this. Like, okay, I was already starting to change direction, especially if I had noticed that. And I think there's a couple different things that came up that I really want to address, because they're really important, let's say, in this whole grand scheme. The Coach Talks concept kind of started here. It was something I noticed. It was just sitting down with someone else, not in an interview, but just having a conversation about something fun, health, fitness, wellness. It's things I love to talk about, food. So I kind of already started that, but it was my conversation, right? What was important to me, and what Coach Talks was all about, was to get others to share what was important to them. And so people could get, say, a different perspective, because my way isn't the way for everyone to be healthy. You got to find your own. That's what I've been saying. My mission and vision in this hasn't changed since. So it's really neat to see that I was saying those things then and kind of leading into it, and I still believe them now. Nothing has changed about my responses, but it finally answers the question that my brother asked me.
Your boy Coach, where did that come from?
Kind of interesting. That's a long tail we're gonna have to get into in future videos. Something else that's also really interesting is he said, "Ya boy Coach, where did that come from?" And that's one of the struggles I think of this channel that I had, is trying to, you know, I made this funny spelling for it. It was really an Xbox tag, but cutting off the its made it a little bit, say, different and like more me. And it didn't have that extra little front end, because trying to spell it out for people was kind of hard. So this is probably the point where I would even say I was starting to think about another channel. I hadn't created, actually I'm gonna have to look back now, because I may have already started Ya Boy Coach, but it's just kind of funny that he said Ya Boy Coach, because I had already planned on doing a second channel at some point, because I didn't want to carry the It's Ya Boy Coach. It was just too long. It needed to be changed. This actually kind of brings something in that is really more important. It's about life purpose. Like, so I had some passion, some calling, and it has a lot to do with my faith and the things that I believe. I had some passion that I just couldn't explain to get this stuff done, to get better at. And that's kind of what a spiritual journey is kind of like. It's like this thing I can't really explain into words, other than there's just happiness to do it, and joy. And it's not for myself, it's for others. I think that's how God works, is he puts things in our way and in our path, and challenges, and they're hard. And we call them trials, but they're to mold us and shape us. So now I can sit here and do this video, do this content. What else would I be doing? And would I have had COVID or not? Who knows? Like that's all things that people try and overthink. I'm just gonna live in the moment, enjoy it for what it is, create with, you know, use the skills and talents I have and the time to create something that I think is unique and people could like, or that can make a difference, or someone needs to hear, or someone needs to see, or, you know, just goes to show, you know, I'm trying to do things in a positive way and live my life in a positive way. So that's pretty much what I got for this one. I'm gonna let my other conversation finish this one up, and then I'll see you in the next video. That's all I got for this one, and we'll talk about the next video here in a little bit.